Well, a beautiful Monday afternoon here in Kansas City, Missouri. And this is Pastor Hayton with the Lord Lights Devotional. Last week we started what we're going to call a little series on the difficulties that we encounter. And whether it's in just trying to live the Christian life, or whether it's being involved in the work of the Lord, in spreading the gospel, Satan's going to make it his business to see that we encounter some difficulties. And so, called to mind back when I first pastored in Wheatland, Missouri, back 53 years ago, how I needed to supplement my income. My church salary at that time averaged about $20 a week, so naturally I was looking for ways to make a little money when a fellow in our church who lived up with his parents on a big Rocky Top farm out by Cross Timbers said, "Well, Pastor, I think we can make some money cutting stove wood. We can sell it for $15 a pickup load." I had my old 37 model General Motors pickup, borrowed an old chainsaw that my father-in-law had bought at a garage sale. Man, that thing, I don't know how much it weighed, but you didn't do much sawing until you felt like your back was going to break in two. It was a heavy old saw, but it got the job done. But anyway, we made our way to the woods to cut stove wood to make a little extra money. Well, I talked about the difficulties we encountered the other day, and one of those was that even though my intention was to go out and cut stove wood, yet we got sidetracked. Seemed like the pits were so far behind on their chores that I pitched in and tried to help them feed the chickens and gather the eggs and slop the hogs and break hay bales open for the cows out in the pasture. And the next thing you know, well, the day was nearly gone and we hadn't ever made it to do what we set out to do. Doing good, legitimate things, but we were sidetracked from our real purpose of cutting a load of stove wood that day. Well, I promised we'd continue on with that, so today I'm going to talk about how sometimes we'd get stuck. Now that was a hilly old farm, and I'd take my old pickup down at the bottom of a hill where there was a clump of trees, and we'd start cutting wood and piling it on the truck, and sometime when we were ready to go, well, the old tires, they were almost bald and couldn't get any traction, and sometimes, why, if there's a little bit of a thaw, why, we'd find ourselves stuck. Just sitting there spinning our wheels, not getting anywhere. And I think about down across the years of my ministry, how often I felt like I was just spinning my wheels. You know, you're mashing the gas pedal, letting out the clutch, and not getting anywhere. You give it a little bit more gas and just spin a little bit harder. And the next thing you know, well, you're just kind of digging a hole, and there you are. You've got a load of wood to sell, but no way to get it there because you're stuck. And I feel like there's a lot of things that can get us stuck if we're not careful. And when we got stuck out there in the woods, the only thing we could do would be to walk up to the farmhouse, find Elmer Pitts, the farmer, say, "Elmer, we're stuck." He would fire up the old John Deere, grab a log chain, and go down and pull us up the hill. And you know, I'm so glad that those times that we feel like we're just spinning our wheels, we're not getting anywhere, we're stuck, not making any progress, that's time to call upon the Lord. I called upon the Lord in my distress, and he heard me, and he answered. And we'd call upon dear old Farmer Elmer. He'd get us unstuck. He'd pull us on up the hill. And all we had to do was to ask him to do that for us. So if you feel like you're just spinning your wheels and not getting anywhere, just simply ask God. He'll be there for you. Well, tomorrow I'm going to talk about not only getting stuck, but sometimes we got a little bit shaky, just right down wore out. And I'll see you tomorrow here on the Lord Lights Devotion with Pastor Hayton. Goodbye now.